we receive kids who come through the social workers or the council. So our cases, we call them cases as well. Our cases are through the government. A social worker goes to the court and then does the court order, and then we receive them. We can only receive kids with a court order to say, okay, we're placing this child at the center and they will be in your hands for this period. And sometimes it happens that you think the child is going to be there for 3 months, but because of the case, the differences in the case and everything that is involved within that case, we tend to have them maybe for a longer period. So it's through a court order. So we don't necessarily receive people who come and say, I'm going to drop off my child here or my sister's child. It has to be through a court order.
All right, thank you for clarifying that. Maybe if we can also take a look at the conditions at the center, you know, given the population that has nearly doubled since January, what can we attribute the causes to? Like you're saying, it's through court orders and there are cases that are registered with government. So what are those cases? I know we may not single them out as per case, but what are those that keep on coming out or are more common?
I could think of 5 right now. The first would be extreme poverty. And then the second would be baby dumping, where someone just leaves their kid somewhere and the child is unsafe. And then we have cases of neglect, where there are children-led homes and maybe children are taking care of themselves and their parents are not there. And then we have also mothers who attempt to murder their children, which is, you know, it's a grave danger to the child and the child has to be placed into the center. We have cases of rape. We have cases where there is gender-based violence. So these are maybe the top 7. But the cases are different. There's, you know, 75 children and over 200 children who have passed through our facilities since we started. So the cases differ, but these are the main ones that we say that we have at the center. And because it covers the whole country, we cover the whole country. So children at our center are from 17 districts in Botswana. So the cases vary according to the places. Yeah.
All right. Now, from those factors that she just singled out, what can we say about our society today in Botswana? What can we say is really the root cause of us having parenthood issues, child negligence issues? What can we say? Is it poverty? Is it high cost of living? Is it that we are not taught the right principles to grow up and be responsible adults? What can we really point at to say this could be the root cause of the problems that we're having with child negligence in our society?
I think, you know, like looking especially at our generation now, there might be like a huge gap in terms of how we're being like raised, growing up and all of that. And then when you look at poverty, for example, from the region that we are from, there's extreme poverty, if I can just give an example with that. So when a person thinks of taking care of a child, like a mother, because in most cases, it's a mom who's taking care of the child, you know, and that also brings in the factor where we're saying fathers are absent, you know, and we're holding accountable just the mother and etc. But all I can say is that, like in just short, is to say, I think it's just how maybe we are raised, you know, and the socio-economic factors, of course. Like when a person thinks of raising a child and they're thinking, oh my God, I'm going to do this alone, you know, all of that. So I think honestly that our society, if we could go back to it takes a village to raise a child, I don't think we have that a lot anymore, where it takes a village to raise a kid. So yeah, I think parents just feel like they're doing this alone, and most probably because it's really tough also economically right now. Yeah.
Right. And also, what is the age group that you are housing right now?
In the beginning, we wanted to have the age group 0 to 5 years. However, right now, because cases have taken a long time, children have grown up in the center. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but our intention was to be a temporary rescue center where the children are there during the time where the cases are being solved. But the rate at which cases are being solved and the rate at which cases are coming in is so high that there's a low turnover. So right now, our youngest children are between 0 and 3 months. They're in the Botsetse room. The Botsetse room is full. And the oldest child at Lorato House is 16 years currently. And most of the children who are older grew up in Lorato House. So we have primary going school children right now.
All right. It's interesting indeed. Maybe right there, because you're having this surge, how is it affecting your staff? How is it affecting your facilities? You know, are you able to, you're already saying the Botsetse room is full. Yeah. So how is that really coming through, and how are you able to hold yourselves? How's the capacity like? Are you able to move on and move ahead and be able to really take good care of all of them properly?
I can say that we're honestly just depending on God, just to put it in short. But it's really tough. That's why I think right now we're really trying by all means to raise funds, you know. We have donors, and we're also experiencing, you know, like a slight change in the, you know, economically and stuff like that. People are also, you know, so what we can say is, there's a lot right now.
Let me help you.
Yeah.
Right. I think from 39 to 75, there hasn't been a change in our budget.
Yeah.
There hasn't been an increase in anything. Rather, donor participation has become very low because we're dependent on independent like donors, just individual donors, and partially government. But with the increase in the numbers almost doubling, we haven't had an increase in our budget at all. So it's more of now, more than ever, we are trying to raise awareness of what's happening and trying to get things together and help the children. So it comes to an individual capacity now. It's me reaching out to you, Khomotsego, and saying, listen, I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the children. Are you able to give me maybe 50 pula this month? And I could reach out to maybe my friends on social media, and I would tell them, hey, maybe you could have a clothes drive. So it's mostly now we are mitigating. Right. Basically on a daily basis.
On a daily basis.
Yes, but our staff morale remains high because our staff is so involved in us raising funds for our children. And they're so involved even in raising their children. It's not just about the paycheck, but it's about our children. I can say, you know, I have children at Lorato House. I have 4 children. My oldest is 12.
Wow.
My youngest is only 5 weeks.
Wow.
So the milestones are going great.
Wow. Yeah. I think it really takes somebody full of love to go ahead. And I think that's why you're calling yourselves a Lorato House, right? The love is the one that matters most. Whilst you're running at a deficit, the most important thing is for them to grow up knowing they are loved, right? So if we can then talk about the broader state of child protection and social welfare in Maun or Botswana as a whole, the rising numbers, what can we say about this? What do they depict? And we're speaking child protection. We have a Children's Act, you know, and it has its clauses, its laws, but we see people going against it and being on the wrong side of the law. What are we seeing about this? Are we even seeing mitigations coming through? Are we seeing people being punished as it's something punishable by law? What are we seeing in that space?
The law is taking its course. The course might be long, but we'll get there. At Lorato House, we're not just a rescue center for the children. We are also people that advocate for children. We're in the communities teaching about how children should be taken care of, where to report cases. We are constantly in touch with social workers across the country, not just in Maun. So it's basically we need to take action as individuals, as organizations, and even as government. And I believe that we will get there. Despite the circumstances we're facing as a country. I mean, the economy is a driving factor of how we live our lives on a daily basis. It affects the mental health of people. It affects even people's livelihoods and how they can take care of children. So it's I don't know if I answered the question, but
most definitely.
Yeah.
Right. I think more onto that, Cassie, because we're speaking also programs there. If we can speak programs there, you know, what can be done? We're seeing the gaps and we're seeing the rising cases of child abuse in Botswana. We are at the top of the charts, and we're speaking of Botswana, the most peaceful land, but apparently we're not so peaceful in our homes. So what can be done? What are the recommendations that can come from yourselves, having dealt with these children, some of them having experienced these issues? What can be done in our land?
I think, like Ms. Agatha said, it also starts with an individual. You know, if we were to empower ourselves, you know, and also want to take part in making sure that we better the world that our kids live in right now. I'll give an example also in terms of us empowering other people. We have a program called Babelegi Mmogo. Babelegi Mmogo is a program that we take to all our VDCs in Maun, and we speak of Child Act Day. You know, we're teaching, empowering people to say, because sometimes we expect so much and we want to hold people accountable, but they do not know what exactly we're talking about. When you look at our generation right now and you look at our moms and our grandparents, the way they were raised is not the same way that we kind of should be raising, you know, our kids right now, because a lot of things have changed. So I think every individual, every organization out there, if looking at where we are at, for example, the Northwest right now, and us working with all these 15 districts at large, we can, with the cases that are coming to us, we know, okay, we're facing, these are the type of cases that we received, these are the causes, and so the programs that we have, like Babelegi Mmogo, the programs that we have, like Metro World, where we're also teaching kids, you know, to say, okay, you are supposed to be protected like this. So in that case, we're also empowering our kids to say, you're going to report, you know, they know how to speak for themselves. We teach them life skills, we teach them the confidence to actually speak up for themselves through Metro World Child and Reach for Life. So anything that we can do as organizations and as individuals, we need to really raise up our voices and stand together, because these are our kids, you know, these are our leaders for tomorrow.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Right. And now they say prevention is better than cure, right?
Yeah.
From the factors that you gave, or the reasons behind having this child negligence cases, we see also having poverty being one of the reasons behind this. But if we can prevent this, what should be done at prevention stage? What's missing there? Because if it's a case of poverty, and I know I cannot afford to have a baby, then I need to make sure that I prevent having a baby. So what's missing? Because I think information has gone out to the people. All of us, we know what should be done if you're not ready to have a child. So what's missing and what can be done?
I don't think we're at a point that we can say this is what's missing, because it's multiple factors. And beyond the multiple factors, there's things that we really, we're at a point where we're saying we're doing interventions at every level, at every age. That's a very hard question, Komotero. It's a very hard question.
Okay.
But our stance is always, let's intervene at multiple levels. The work that we do as Lorato House, we have a mother body, which is the Love Botswana Outreach Mission, which does programs in the community. So at every level on in our NGO, we are for the fight. When it comes even to economic empowerment, when it comes to children knowing their rights and children's life skills, we're in the schools, all the schools from primary level to secondary level, to even tertiary schools in Maun. So it's saying, let's do all we can.
Right.
Yes. Information can never be enough, because information has to be repeated for people to get it. And sometimes we forget. It was, you know, many years ago when we had the surge of HIV and AIDS, and we had a lot of information about HIV and AIDS. Right now, there's not a lot of information being circulated because we know, but there's a high increase in people contracting HIV and AIDS. So we see that, you know, information needs to be a consistent thing over time.
Right. But we're coming to the end of a discussion, Cassie. Right there, I think we have spoken a lot on interventions that need to be done. And of course, in addressing the challenges that you have singled out here and there, in less than a minute that we have left, if we can say this is where we want to go as Lorato House, and this is our vision for Botswana, for children in Botswana. This is where we intend to be in terms of programming, in terms of funding, being able to run on budget, not below the budget. Let me just give you that opportunity right now.
What we want as Lorato House, I mean to say, is that we want our kids to be safe. That's our priority. We put the child's best interest at first, you know, top priority. So all we're saying right now is also funding. We're raising funds. We have a gala dinner on the 15th of November as an attempt to raise funds to be able to also help out at Lorato House. So we're just reaching out to also the community to say, let's stand together. It's not just Lorato House, of course, but let's stand together for all of our kids, you know, in our country, to get to a point where we see our kids feeling safe in this country. First things first, they're feeling safe in this world, and also empowering our kids to get out there and also do better for the other kids that are coming, you know, behind them. So, yeah.
All right. Let me thank you so much, ladies, for your time this morning, and of course wish Lorato House Rescue Centre well to see more work being done, more interventions being done, and more safety for our children, most importantly. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
All right. That was Lorato House Rescue Centre from Maun, Miss Agatha Elijah, as well as Cassie Paul, discussing what is going on right now with children in our land in terms of child negligence. The fact that it is on a surge. What can you do as Motswana ko lapeng? Wena tsolela ontse o ikantsha rona.
Financial literacy has a significant protective role, particularly in preventing over-indebtedness